Hello, hello, hello. Oh, here we are again. What a game. We won another game. It's a miracle. Oh my word. Oh, I feel so good about this game because a lot of things that we were kind of hoping to see, we saw, and I think we've kind of finally gotten over that like hump and now we can start flying. Um, as usual, I'll just wait for a few people to turn up and then we can hit the intro. And yeah, I've got. Usually, I have about 6 things to talk about. I have a lot of things to talk about because there's so many positives to take from this game. Um, so we'll have to get to that at some time. Um, yeah, yeah, definitely a few things came together today. I agree with that. Um, I'm gonna touch on that in the positives, because I've got a slightly interesting positive for this one. Hang on, let me just. Du, du, du. Mhm, mhm. We've got our mod in chat. Um. Okay, let's start this then.
Lads, lasses, and the rest of the masses, welcome back to the channel. I'm Mono from Mono TFC, and this is GBU Live.
Okay, W intro or no? Every time I do that, I have to mute myself and then unmute myself, so like, I keep having to mess that up. Anyway, welcome to GBU Live. Yeah, we really were massive today. There was only one team in Fulham as the away crowd were chanting. The away fans were really good. The support was really good today, which is good to see. Yeah, so as usual, I'm going to go through from left to right. We'll do some goods, then do the bads, then do the uglies, and then go back to the goods, and we'll finish on a positive note. Obviously, this result in general is very positive, being Fulham 2-0, and in a way that was kind of expected from Chelsea in a way. Like, we've been getting a lot of XG but not putting the chances together, and today we were very clinical, except Brogier's horrific miss at the start of the game, but it was in the first 45 seconds, so we can't really take that away from him. But let's start off, let's talk about that man actually. The first good I'm going to be putting in here is for our goal scorers, so I'm going to group these together. So I'm going to be putting in Brozier and Mudryk together. Let's make them a little bit bigger. I've got a lot of things to fit in this box, so I can't make them too big. And I'm going to give him a little lightning bolt here. Goal scorers. Obviously, it's good to score goals. Misha getting his first goal is incredible. I'm so happy for him because of all the kind of trials and tribulations he's going on with. Obviously, being a Ukrainian, going through that mental, like, anguish of having your home country basically being a war zone is horrific in any way. And then obviously to have the big price tag and him come in and not perform well straight away, and he's finally getting over that. And as we've all kind of said, the consecutive starts that he's been getting is starting to bring confidence. And we saw that in this game. Not only did he score, but he was actually very good off the left wing and was very electric, and which is why I've given him the little lightning bolt. Similarly, Brozier coming back from an ACL injury and being out for a year, and then just to come back to the pitch as a better player than you were is incredible, and I can't believe that he actually started as well as he did. Very obviously from Cole Palmer's pass. I'll get on to Cole Palmer at some point soon. Mudryk's goal, very well taken as well. Chests it down, smashes it into the back of the net past Leno, and it's very good for these two to be beating a keeper like Leno, who is statistically one of the better keepers in the league. It's just good to be talking about goals, man. Yeah, and you could see from the celebrations that you knew what it meant to Misha when he scored specifically. And there's this really nice moment where you can see Enzo and Caicedo in the background having a hug, which was really nice. I think the team as a whole is very together. We're very much a unit now, and now that we've gotten over this like sketchy patch of form, I think we can really push on and kind of get some more wins and get some more points under our belt. Obviously, our next game is against one of the worst teams in the league currently, the 19th place Burnley. on Saturday, I believe. So we can get some more momentum against them and get another 3 points. And then we've got a 2-week break, I believe, before we go to Arsenal, or they come to us, I believe. But yeah, so goal scorers, I love scoring goals. Seeing Chelsea score goals is just such a dopamine rush, and like, especially when they're one after the other, like they were. I think it was 18 minutes for Mudryk and then 19 for Broziers. Obviously, Broziers comes from a mistake. I will be doing more analysis on the 2 goals in my tactical breakdown. That will come out sometime this week. I imagine it'll probably come out either Thursday or Wednesday, one of those 2. And then obviously I'll have the preview for the Burnley game just before the game on Saturday. Let's move into the second thing which I'm going to be putting in the good box, and that's for our entire midfield. And this is going to sound crazy, but I can't believe I'm going to have to do this. I'm going to have to put all 4 of our midfielders in this box, because every single one of them are unplayable today. Absolutely unplayable. So we've got Enzo, we've got Caicedo. Where's Gallagher? There he is. We have Gallagher, and of course the man who got the assist for Broziers' goal, Cole Palmer, who we had a little bit of a mishap with last time when I did this, because he wasn't in my list, but he is in my list now. So we got these 4. Unplayable, absolutely unplayable. I said in my preview that the midfield battle was going to be really, really important, and we won it very, very easily. Palmer was picking up the ball in more central areas. Obviously, he was playing off the right wing, but he was picking things up in the centre more often than not, with Gallagher kind of operating on the right side instead, which is kind of what I kind of outlined in my preview. I expected that to happen. Obviously, we saw Cucurella and Disasi on the opposite sides to what I expected, but you know what, he's not actually on my list of things I wanted to talk about, but I'm going to put Cucurella in here as well, because I think he had a really good game at right back. I'll talk about him in a little bit. But yeah, our entire midfield was bossed it. Like, Caicedo looks so much like the £115 million player that we bought now. He is so good in that midfield, winning the ball back, just being a nuisance in general. Enzo was linking up really well and keeping things ticking. And Gallagher obviously bringing all that energy and just running constantly. I don't know how he does it. Honestly, I'm a person, I'm not particularly a very fit person. But like, I can walk up like a few flights of stairs and be out of breath, and this guy can run for 90 minutes and he doesn't even look like he's scathed at all. I don't know how he does it. I don't know what they feed them. Honestly, but he being electric as well. And obviously these three in particular, the actual midfielders, obviously Palmer was very good, but these 3 in particular were really, really good at linking up together. Absolutely unplayable. I think if you went to, I haven't checked the ratings of the players, but I bet you if you went to check the ratings, they've all got like mid 7s or something like that. They're all really, really good. Let's quickly move on to what the bad things, because there's only one thing that I'm putting in the bad here, and that's for injuries. And I don't actually have a thing for injuries. Let's just do this. There we go. This is for injuries, because yes, Mudryk did score, but he came off at half-time with an injury. We don't know the extent of any of the injuries yet, but we'll have to look at that. But Mudryk obviously coming off at half-time, Caicedo going down right at the end of the game, which looks like a knee problem or a muscle problem somewhere in his lower thigh. Doesn't look great. Obviously, Brozier went down, but I think his was more fatigue than actually being injured. Obviously, he hasn't played football in the year. He's going to be tired after a certain amount of minutes, and I think the plan was for him to play about 60 minutes anyway, so that's fine with him coming off. But yeah, having more injuries is just a terrifying thing. We're having to make do with all of the injuries we already have, and to get even more is concerning, especially Caicedo's, because Caicedo obviously coming back and starting to play really, really, really well now. We don't want him to kind of stunt his progress. Obviously, he's been running around the pitch with a strapped knee this entire time anyway, so he's probably being rushed back a little bit too much anyway. So hope that isn't that bad. That was an impact injury and not like he didn't go down with no one around him, so that's a bit of more of a positive, because impact injuries kind of are usually less usually easier to recover from than anything else. Obviously, I think he had a clash of knees with Willian on the left wing. Let's move into the ugly box, and I wonder if you guys can guess what I'm going to be putting in this ugly box. I tell you, I don't like talking about these guys, but every single week I have to talk about the damn referees. Every single week. What is this guy doing? I can't believe it. Let me just list some of the things I just saw here, right? Andreas Pereira in the middle asked for a yellow card about 4 times, didn't get a single booking. You see how Nicholas Jackson has got 5 bookings in the last 5 games, and 4 of them were for asking the referee for a yellow card because there's new dissent law. Why is Andreas Pereira not getting a yellow card for it? He asked for one about 4 times, didn't get a single card. Also made some awful tackles, didn't get a yellow card. He should not have been on the pitch, let's be real. Sterling got booked for shooting after the whistle had gone, after he just didn't hear it, and it wasn't like he deliberately kicked the ball away, he was shooting on goal. Don't understand that. And then, just to top it off, we have Carlos Vinicius. See, hang on, wait. I am a big fan of the WWE and wrestling in general, the professional wrestling. I'm a big fan of that. Carlos Vinicius did his best John Bradshaw Layfield impression in this game and tried to clothesline the hell out of Thiago Silva in the back of the head. Didn't even get booked for it. They checked it on VAR and they said, oh, you know what? Common assault is fine as long as it's on a Chelsea player. That's a clear red card, and I don't know how the hell he stayed on. It's incredible what these guys are smoking. I said, these referees are ruining our beautiful game. I swear, every single time, every single week. I promise, next week against Burnley, I will try not to talk about the referees because I hate doing it, but it's just, I don't get it. I just don't get it. They're just like, oh, you know what? I don't like, if that's not a red card, then what constitutes a red card in our game anymore? Because he's just assaulted him. He hasn't even tried to go for the ball. Oh my god. Anyway, let's move back into the positives. That obviously I've been a bit jokey there, but yeah, the refereeing standard in England is still terrible, but we can joke about it because we won. Let's move back into the goods. Obviously I talked about Cucurella, but the next player I'm actually going to talk about is another defender, and it's a player that I've given a lot of stick recently and been saying that he's actually been performing quite badly, but in this one I think he was very, very good, and that's Thiago Silva. I was specifically keeping an eye on him because obviously he's back in the team, and most games he's played for us this season he has given away a goal. In this game he was unplayable. No one could get around him. Obviously he got clotheslined in the back of the head and still played on. Love that for him. Very, very, very good performance from Silva, and I think part of that is because of how we were playing. Again, we kind of played a little bit pragmatically, and that kind of is a good segue into what I want to talk about in the last thing that I want to put in my good box, and that's for Pochettino, because he really, really changed up the tactics in this one. And obviously I'll talk about this a little bit more in depth in my actual breakdown, which I'll do later in the week, but he did what we've been asking for. He played Connor advanced and Enzo a bit deeper, and you could tell instantly that we were so much better in that midfield for it. Obviously, what I kind of said and suggested that we should do as Chelsea, we've built our foundation as Chelsea Football Club of being a pragmatic team that is good on the transition, and that's what he did in this game. We basically got our 2 goals and then decided to say, hey Fulham, if you want to come out and try and attack us and leave space in behind, then you can do that. We're going to break on you. And obviously it didn't lead to any more goals, but that idea is what I think we can build success off, because obviously we have so many quick players in our team. We've got our Matsons, our Mudriks, our Sterlings, even Gallagher at sometimes can actually get up to pace. Broja obviously is really, really rapid, and we can play that way, especially if we get an early goal like we did in this game, or an early 2 goals in this case. And I think he's kind of been proven right in a way, because he said that he'd seen positive things. He knows that he can do good work with this team. It just has to all come together. And I think now we're finally seeing that all come together. Obviously, I questioned some of his choices before, but he's starting to kind of revert them now that players are coming back and players are coming into form. And obviously, Broja's coming back and Mudrik is starting to fire, which is really good. I think he's kind of settled that. And I think overall, we are now seeing this kind of whole feeling of unity, and I'll put this shield here for that. We're feeling this whole feeling of unity around the club, and not just the players in the club, but also the fan base. We saw that at the end of the game, we saw the players all go to the away end and start throwing their shirts in the away end and connecting with the fans, and I feel like that's the thing that we have lost recently. We kind of lost the fan base, and the players obviously feel that. If the players aren't being supported by the fans, then they're not going to play well, and then if the players aren't playing well, then the fans don't support them. It's a very vicious cycle, and I think we've finally kind of gotten out of that. As I said, we move on to Burnley next, which should be an easily winnable game against a 19th place team. And then we've got a 2-week break, so hopefully we can get another 3 points for then, and then have our 2-week break, and we can kind of get players back from injuries, from minor injuries, and then we can push on against Arsenal. But that will be on Saturday, I believe. And as I said, I'll do a preview before that, and before then it'll probably come out Saturday morning. I've been starting to upload my previews in the mornings now because that actually kind of works out better for me. So that's probably when it'll be out, is on Saturday morning. If not, it'll be on the day before, on the Friday. But yeah, that's GBU Live from me. I'll hit the outro. Thank you guys as ever for coming in and watching, and also participating in chat as well. I have been reading your chat. It's just very hard to kind of talk and focus on chat at the same time. But yeah, we are well and truly back, I think, and we move on to Burnley. Let's dominate them as well. I'll hit the outro. See you guys later.
But that was just my GBU match review for this week. Thank you ever so much for watching. Let me know your thoughts on this match in the comment section below, and if you'd be so kind, subscribe to the channel and leave the video a like if you enjoyed. Don't forget to tap the notification bell so you never miss a video from me, or check out some of the other videos on the channel on screen right now. I've been Mono from Mono CFC, and remember, in the rain or in the dry, keep that blue flag flying high. Come on, you Blues.